Happy Sunday, everybody. Starship 12 launch was impressive as fuck. I mean, Jesus, that thing had twice the power of the Saturn V that launched the Apollo mission to the moon. You probably don't remember that, but I'm old, I do. That was impressive. This one had twice the thrust. It's incredible. And it was a test, so it wasn't expected to work 100%. If it doesn't go wrong, they don't get all the new data they'd like. So very successful test, so congratulations to everyone who worked on that. And I know a couple of people at SpaceX, so yeah, good job. Crimea is where a lot of the battlefield attention is focusing on right now. It's immediately south of the rest of Ukraine, but it's Ukraine. It had been for years. When the Russians invaded in 2014, they were allowed to get away with it by Obama, who didn't react enough and just let them get away with it. Everyone let them get away with it. Expecting that nothing else would happen. Well, guess what? In 2022, they invaded the rest of Ukraine. And what I wasn't expecting, what nobody was expecting, I'm not a genius, I don't even been there, I've never, whatever. No one was expecting the Ukrainians to start pounding on on Crimea. So they've been really hitting Crimea very hard indeed. They destroyed all the air defense first, and then they knocked out all the radar, they knocked out ammunition trains, and now they're just picking it off and doing very well, because it's become unsustainable as a Russian annex. They started rationing fuel. You can't buy more than 20 liters of fuel at a time, and you have to get tokens from the local administration because the Ukrainians have knocked out their fuel supply there. They've also knocked out the fuel supplies all over Russia, and they've destroyed the Russian distribution centers. So that's good, but the war is far from over. It's going to take a lot more effort and help from the Europeans, mostly because Trump's just cut off all aid. And it's just so weird that, well, it shouldn't be that weird because he's a fucking idiot, but it's almost like Putin's got a little hand up his ass just telling him what to say. And Putin is worshipped by Trump. Not quite so much anymore, but still far more than he should. But what they've been doing is just killing Crimea. I keep on getting them all muddled up today. My brain's fuddled. One interesting thing they've been doing to send drones further into Russia, they've been attaching them to weather balloons. So the weather balloon floats over Russia 1,000 kilometers, and then they push a button and the drone drops and flies even further. So they're hitting oil depots and pipelines all over Russia now. They also have these sea drones, and they've completely decimated all the Russian troops the Russian boats that are stationed in the Black Sea and the Azov Sea and all that place. And so it's fascinating to watch, but it's frustrating in the fact that they're not getting quite enough aid. The sooner this thing is over, the better. It's been allowed to go on and on and on, and more countries are getting involved. There's African countries, there's North Korean countries. It's just bad. So it needs to be stopped, but it's going to take another few months, hopefully, but we'll see. That was too long, but I can't be bothered to do it again. Bye-bye.